In project management, we get so caught up in the plans, the schedules, the budgets, but what if the most critical piece of the puzzle, the one we often overlook, isn't a document at all? Today, we're talking about the people. Yeah, let's dive into the stakeholder performance domain. Really think about that for a second. We spend all this time perfecting our charts and spreadsheets, but what if the real engine, the thing that actually pushes a project to success, isn't a document at all? What if it's a living, breathing network of people who are engaged and satisfied? That's the big idea we're digging into. So here's our game plan. We'll start by nailing down what this domain really is. Then we'll see how it literally shapes a project's direction, how it connects to money and power, and how it helps you handle risk. And we'll wrap it all up with a key takeaway you can use right away.
Okay, so let's start at square one. What in the world are we even talking about when we say the stakeholder performance domain?
Here's the official definition. But I want you to notice one word here: activities. This is so important. This isn't a passive thing. It's not just making a list of who your stakeholders are. It's the actual active work you do to engage them, to build relationships, and to make sure they're satisfied.
And this is the big aha moment. Stakeholders aren't just a task you check off in the beginning. No way. They are woven into the very fabric of the project, from the first idea to the final delivery, and everything in between. To put it simply, they pretty much are the environment your project lives in. So if stakeholders are the environment, what does that mean for your project's direction? Well, it means they don't just influence it. In a lot of ways, they define what the project even is, right from the very start. Just look at this list. It's everything, right? Stakeholders tell you what you're building, that's your scope and requirements. They help shape how you're going to build it, those are the planning activities. And maybe most importantly, they set the finish line by defining what done and good actually look like. Their input is what tells the team where to focus and ultimately if the project delivers any real value. And here's the bottom line, because this isn't just theory, this is where the rubber meets the road. Get this part right, and you build something that people actually need and want. You solve a real problem. But get it wrong, you can deliver a project perfectly on time, perfectly on budget, and it's completely useless because nobody actually asked for it. Okay, but it goes even deeper. It's not just about the requirements. Stakeholder engagement is directly plugged into the formal structures of a project. We're talking about the power and the money. And this is where things get very real, very fast. Think of this as two sides of the same coin. On the governance side, you're dealing with the power structures, getting the steering committee on board, navigating tricky office politics. It's about getting the authority to act. And then on the finance side, these same people often hold the purse strings. They're the ones who approve the budget and sign off on the funding. So they are the gatekeepers for both the authority and the resources you need to even exist. All right, now for a crucial mindset shift. A lot of times, we think of stakeholders as a source of risk, right? They're unpredictable, they change their minds. But what if we flip that script completely? What if they're actually our best defense against risk and uncertainty? This is why I like to think of them as the project's early warning system. They're like a network of sensors out there in the world, spotting threats that you could never see from your desk. They're on the front lines. They don't just give you information, they give you context. They help you understand how bad a risk might actually be. And, get this, they can become your biggest allies in stopping a problem before it gets out of control. And the source material really doesn't pull any punches here. The danger of getting this wrong is huge. If you fail to find and engage the right people, they can go from being your project's immune system to being the source of the problem itself. So we've seen just how central stakeholders are to everything, from the project's direction and its funding all the way to how it defends itself against risk. So let's boil all this down into something simple and practical you can actually use. It really all comes down to these three simple but incredibly powerful actions. Number one, identify. You have to find the correct people early on, not just the ones who make the most noise. Two, engage. You have to be proactive. Talk to them continuously. Don't just wait for a fire to break out. And three, listen. And I mean really listen. Treat them like your project's most valuable intelligence network, because their insights on scope, risk, and value are the compass that will guide you to success. And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. As you head back to your own projects, just ask yourself this one question. It's not just about if you're listening. It's about whether you're listening to the right voices. Because honestly, the answer to that question could be the difference between a project that just gets finished and one that actually makes a difference.